Akers. I'm originally from a small town in Iowa. I've been in education. This is my 4th decade in education. I'm going to tell you right now, I am a storyteller. Every one of you has a story. Every one of you is living a story. About it, the first thing you have to do is to know your story. The second part is you have to live your story. And the third part is, and the most important part for me, and I'll explain that along the way, is I want you to share your story. Because I look out here, guys, and I see people who are different colors than me. I see people who are richer or poorer than me. I see people who are atheists. I see people who are Catholics. I see people who are Christian. I see people who are gay. I see people who are straight. I see people who don't know what they are. But I see the most important thing. I see people. The 80s and 90s, we didn't do these things. We just kind of kept our head down and kept moving. You guys are at a point where people are talking. Sometimes they say stupid things, absolutely. But people are talking. They're talking about race. They're talking about prejudice. They're talking about poverty. They're talking about mental health. They're talking about your sexuality. Talk about it, guys. But I would say this, listen to.
All right, well, my name is Landon Ballard. I'm 22 years old. Who's ever had something in their life that is a struggle for them, that's difficult for them, and they just give up and walk away and pretend it's not there? I've done that with a lot of things. Some of you didn't raise your hand. You guys are fighters, and that's good if that's how you are. Personally, that wasn't my experience. I found I had mental issues, and as soon as I got out, I started getting even higher because now I knew I had mental issues, and so I had to find some way to escape it. And in my mind, I'm still different than everybody else. I don't need rehab. I don't need to get kicked out. You just need to leave me alone. I'm fine. I can control this. I can do drugs and be okay. I really believed that for a long time. I genuinely thought that I was different than every other addict. And so I decided I didn't want it to be like that anymore. I was like, I'm going to step away from this life. I'm going to leave everything here in Rockford, and I'm going to move to Milwaukee. Seemed like a good idea. I was getting a job out there. Things were going to be okay. So I decided, okay, let's make this step, break off these connections, stop talking to everybody, and I'm going to be good in Milwaukee. After the first 24 hours in Milwaukee, I was using it. Probably the first 12. It was that same night that I moved there. You take you everywhere you go. I was the same person that I was in Rockford when I moved to Milwaukee. I didn't change anything. All I did was moved from where I was at to another place. But I'm still the same person. You can want something all you want. You can want to be an astronaut and go to the moon, but if you never study, if you never go to school, you're not going to get there. It's about more than just wanting it. It's about going out and getting it. They talk about insanity as doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That's what I was doing. I wasn't doing anything different than the last time, but I was still expecting to be in a better place. And it wasn't until May 11th of 2020 that I realized how bad things had gotten. At that moment, I had a decision to make, and it was either, one, just die. Keep taking those drugs till you die or kill yourself, one of the two. Or you can get better and you can live. And I didn't even make that decision at first. My life didn't have to get so bad. It was all those small, bad decisions I made that seemed just like tiny little bad decisions, not a big deal. They didn't seem relevant. They didn't seem like they were going to change the course of my life. But you do enough of those, and you end up with apparently a broken jaw in jail for the second time with no bond. This might have been my last chance. I might not have gotten another chance after this. You guys have to use every chance that you get, because you only get as many as you get, and then they're gone. Let me say that again, because I know that's a little funny. One of the biggest things that you have to remember in life is that you only get as many chances as you get. Because once they run out, they're gone. You might have one chance and you use it and you're gone. Or you might have 1,000,000 chances. You might be that guy who's invincible, who can't die because he's got 1,000,000 chances. But you only have as many as you have. And once they're gone, they're gone. So do everything you can with the chances that you have. Use those chances to the full of their potential. You don't want to be the person that blew all their chances. Even if your life is on a good path and a good course, and you're surrounding yourself with people who build you up, you still might lose your chance. I got sober 22 months ago, and 6 months after, 8, 9 months after, I lost another one of my chances. Riding a motorcycle down the street, and I hit a bend too hard, and I jumped off I had to bail my motorcycle, jumped into a ditch at 65 miles an hour and shattered my wrist. Could have died like that. You don't have to be doing drugs to lose your chance. You don't have to be struggling with mental health to lose your chance. Sometimes it's not your fault if you lose that chance. But it doesn't matter if you did everything that you could with it. Not just for yourself, but for the people around you too. Because at the end of the day, I'd much rather help other people than help myself, because it's easier to help other people. But at the end of the day, you can't help anyone until you help yourself. The thing for me that made me change and everything clicked was when I started to realize it doesn't matter what people think about me. How to continue to love yourself and continue to be proud of who you are. That was like a big thing for me, is be proud of who you are. And when I was using drugs, I wasn't proud of that. It took a lot of rough feelings to get used to not having the drugs, but I feel better about myself 1,000,000 times better now than I ever did when I was on drugs.